Hi guys, so I'm back here in my studio, otherwise known as my bedroom, and I'm realizing that I cannot edit the angle of the video like I thought I could. Don't know why I thought I could, but if you hadn't noticed by now, there's clearly an angle, and if you're new to my channel, there's normally never an angle. You can see me trying to fix my camera tripod right then. I don't know, maybe you guys didn't notice it too much. Maybe it's just a Virgo in me trying to be a perfectionist again, but it's really bothering me, and if it bothers you, sorry, close your eyes, but I promise I have great information to say next, so just listen with your ears and not with your eyes. Thanks! Hi friends, I hope that you are having a wonderful start to your day, your night, your evening, your month, your week, weekend, whatever time you are watching this. I hope that you are doing well. My name is TaCora Divine, and welcome to my channel. If you are unfamiliar with my channel, we talk a lot about relationships with your significant other, with your friends, with your family members, toxic relationships. If you are unfortunate enough to have any or still trying to get over them, I have a playlist just for you and a book as well. But now we're talking a lot about weddings. Actually, in my most currently popular video, it's talking about my courthouse marriage. How did we get onto marriages? Well, I do know because I have actually had 5 wedding ceremonies technically, but I married the same person. Yeah, if you haven't seen my other videos, we're gonna break that down in a second. But what that means is that during this pandemic, I was a little stressed about still trying to have a wedding, any kind of marriage ceremony to celebrate our union. And because that took a lot out of me, but also I feel like I handled it very well because I've received nothing but compliments, I feel very open to share it with you. So today we are comparing courthouse marriage to traditional style wedding. In my video, Courthouse Wedding, I saw a lot of people commenting, asking, well, what should I do? I want to have a courthouse wedding because of the pandemic, which is understandable, but they also still have a need and a want to have a traditional wedding. And they're asking me, what do I do? And honestly, I'm not going to tell you what to do. What I am going to do is talk about and compare different experiences. So if you want to go a certain route for experiences, maybe you want to take this way. If you're wanting to go a certain way for finances or photo opportunities, then you might want to go this way. Again, not going to tell you what to do, but we are going to figure it out today. And last thing before we get started, if you are a bride-to-be and you're just like me going on different YouTube channels and trying to decipher what you should do during this time of planning, I listened to a lot of YouTubers and there was one thing that I wish they had said, which is listen to us, listen to me, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, because we are speaking from experience. Now, of course, you don't have to take every single thing that I did into your wedding planning. I actually have a video of stuff that I wish I hadn't have done for my traditional wedding. But we are speaking from experiences. Sometimes I didn't listen to the tips that were being told to me from different brides, and I wish I did. So take everything that I say with a grain of salt, but also realize that we are speaking from experience. If you listen to me and then listen to a different YouTuber and we happen to be saying the same thing, maybe it's because we're really hoping that you're listening to us. Okay, let's get started. Round 1, COVID regulations. Okay, of course, this is what we're all thinking about. Yes, a courthouse does have regulations. They are most likely cleaning up after each and every couple that comes in. And honestly, from some of the brides-to-bes that I've heard from, the only extra person you could bring is your witness. So that means that everyone comes in a group of 3, you're in and out of a room. It's not like everyone is sitting in the courtroom together while you are getting married. So yes, there is a certain level of protection there. But do not rule out a traditional wedding. Yes, you can still be safe. I actually have a video where I talked about this even more in my video COVID wedding. I still was able to have a traditional wedding during a pandemic. And by doing so, we were able to still have our guest count that we wanted. Now, of course, it depends on what your state is saying. We were only allotted, I believe at the time it was like 20 people indoors, 10 people outdoors. So what we did was have our guest list of 180 or 120. Honestly, I don't remember. But we had our couple hundred guest lists and we split them up into 4 groups. And then we expanded our wedding time to 12 hours. So every 3 hours we had a different group come in, and then we had a 15-minute block to be able to clean up, spray down, make sure that we replenish the hand sanitizer and soap, whatever they needed to keep clean. So yes, you can have either one as long as you plan accordingly. So I would say the winner for this one as far as COVID regulations is both. The next one is finances. Which one will be the winner for this one? Fine. I think that I'm going to read you some stats, but I need my glasses first. Hold on. All right, so as you know, I do live in North Carolina. Bet you didn't know that I wear glasses though, but I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. And as of 2015, there was a study that conducted that the average number of wedding guests in North Carolina is 123 people. Pretty average, yes. The average amount a couple spends is $210 per person. Accurate, yes, from experience. When you do think about it, the food, the decor, the venue, it does split up to about, $210, $200 per person, yes. Meaning you are bound to spend nearly $28,000. Yeah, and that's like a very southern number. I believe for New York, the average that a couple spends is $150,000 for a wedding. It was something like outrageous. It was up there. Again, being Southern, that is a third of the price for a decent ranch home. You can get a whole house for that kind of price. Me and my husband, although we did do a bunch of DIYs, because I was like, I'm not spending about $30,000 to be in debt for a wedding, But so we did a bunch of DIYs. I bought a lot of things in bulk. I even went thrift shopping to refurbish decor for the wedding because we did have a very vintage feel of the wedding. So it was good to bring in like suitcases and vases and plants and then just like do them up for the wedding. We probably spent still about $15,000 for a traditional wedding. For the courthouse wedding, we spent $100,000, not $100,000. $100 American dollars. That's it. So I don't think that it was a surprise that Courthouse would be the winner in this round. Okay, the next one is experience. Let's compare. It honestly depends on what you make out of the day. For a traditional wedding, you have been planning this experience down to the very, very minor details for months now, probably for a full year or so. For the courthouse, I'm gonna say it's not the most romantic place. We came in our white dress and his black tux, and I had totally forgot that a courthouse still has other duties. There were people there that were filing, getting ready to sue, filing for arrest, placing restraining orders, going to court to settle things in court. So we're in downtown strutting around the courthouse taking pictures, and there are people around whose lives are probably about to change. So it's not the jolliest atmosphere. It is brick and mortar inside. It's very, it's not dark, but ours was a lot of brick, a lot of tile, no red roses or candles or anything. And even the other couples that were getting married, they seemed a little stressed because they wanted to make sure that they get everything done so that they're able to get married that day. I even saw a lot of them were still wearing their work clothes because it was during a work day. Me and my husband, for our courthouse marriage, we had a great time, but we had to make it a grand time because of the lack of romance in the air. We really had to fight for it. But again, this is subjective. You can plan for a traditional wedding to be romantic, but if you have a bad or sour attitude about it the day of, then it's not going to be a lovely experience. But if you have a grand attitude for both of a courthouse marriage or a traditional wedding, I would still go with traditional. As far as the experience, the whole experience, you're able for a traditional wedding to carve out every single piece of your day. The next one is sentimental value. It is all in what you make of your day. A traditional wedding, like I said, you get to plan all of the details. Well, of course, while I say that, listen to me with a disclaimer. There will be some details that hit a miss. So it's okay. That's why I'm saying, like, it's all in the attitude that you take along with you. But yes, you do get to party with your friends and family, even if you're just seeing half of their face because they have on a mask. It is important to be able to hang out with them. As far as the courthouse marriage, that still holds some sentimental value in my heart. Every time when we go downtown and we pass by the courthouse, I look at the building where we took pictures in front of. I remember with us sitting down in front of the "Grant us wisdom and virtue" quote engraved in stone. Honestly, it still warms my heart every time I pass it. So, because it depends on your perspective of how much of a lovely day that you're willing to make out of it, I would say for this one, the winner is both. Number 5, of course, one of our favorites, photo opportunity. A traditional wedding, you get to plan your backdrop. You have a lovely venue, a gorgeous reception banquet hall. You have your gorgeous long dress that you've been waiting for your whole life to wear. You have your bridesmaids colors and your hashtag banner over the parking. You are able to control a lot more in your traditional wedding, so that gives you easily nice photo opportunities. As for the courthouse, do not be discouraged that you are not able to take a picture of your very first kiss. Now, I don't know if this is in every courthouse, but I know that for my courthouse downtown in Charlotte, North Carolina, and quite a few of the other brides that I've been speaking to, you're not allowed to take pictures inside. Don't be discouraged by that. Honestly, you are downtown. Make the most out of it. Get a professional photographer, the word professional, who understands angles and lighting. You can still get gorgeous Instagrammable photos, and in fact, that's why we do this whole big charade, is because we want gorgeous photos for our friends and family to envy, right? So if your downtown has a gorgeous skyline, make sure to capture that. If your courthouse has beautiful, long white stairwells, you can have a very fun photo op with that. If your courthouse, even though it's downtown, you live in a rural area where it's not like many cars passing by or anything or bright city lights, that's okay. You can go to an ice cream parlor, make food your prop. You can be super cute in your nice white wedding dress or whatever color you decide to wear, and just spoon feeding or licking a cone. It could be very cute, honestly, and very just avant-garde. Ooh, that's a word. Or you can go to a pizzeria nearby. Pizza we actually used in one of our photo shoots, and it turned out to be so cute, and we get a lot more likes on Instagram because it's something that you don't see every day from a marriage. So for photo opportunity, I would definitely say both. Yes, you do, for the courthouse, most likely need to take pictures outside. Okay, what does that mean if it starts raining? Check your weather report. You were going to anyway. Make sure that you bring an umbrella or two, and make sure that your photographer is also prepared. Make sure that they bring something to protect their camera lens or an umbrella, whatever they need, and it is your one and only day. Don't be afraid to get a little wet, have fun, splash in the rain, whatever you need to do, and it's just going to be an amazing photo opportunity, whether you do traditional or courthouse. Hi friends, so apparently I lost the footage of number 6. This video is getting crazier and crazier, but I will say that I actually like the background, so we're just going to roll with the punches with a voiceover. Number 6 is less stress. Which one caused the less stress? I personally give myself and anybody else a pat on the back for rolling with the punches that comes with planning a traditional wedding during this pandemic. Even though I hid most of my anxiety about wedding planning fairly well, it was really tough. So the winner for this one, is it even a surprise? The Courthouse, by far. When it comes to the courthouse may have a ton of guidelines, but that means there's not a lot of room for error, meaning less distress. Either route that you choose, whether you choose a traditional wedding or a courthouse elopement, at some point you are going to most likely feel some kind of stress. But remember, there's a difference between eustress and de-stress. Distress can be terrible when something awful happens. I don't even have to give an example of that. But eustress can be stress from something beautiful, like moving, or maybe you're expecting a baby or someone else coming into the family, or planning a wedding. These are great things that can bring stress only because you care so much about it. If you keep that in mind, no matter whichever route that you're choosing, whenever you start to feel stress, you tell yourself this is the good kind of stress that comes from a good thing, then that should help a lot. I also talked about this in my video, Courthouse Wedding, 8 tips that you want to remember. As you are watching this video, make sure that you're putting more in the comments. Today, I only have 8 tips or 8 rounds of comparing each one, but if you have some questions about, I don't know, something that I didn't even think about comparing the traditional or courthouse wedding or marriage, make sure that you put them in the comments. Everybody can chat it out. I have the best subscribers, especially when it comes to brides to be. We all like to help each other. So go ahead and use those comments. Let me know. And then I'm going to come out with another video soon because apparently I like talking about weddings too. The next category is reception. Well, duh, for your traditional wedding, after you have the wedding ceremony and then you have your cocktail hour or whatever you would like to call it, your virgin cocktail hour, whatever you need, then you move on to the reception, whether it is on site or you have it placed in a different area. Receptions are a wonderful time to be able to spend quality time with the people you don't usually get to see. Again, seeing only half of their face, totally fine. You're able to dance, laugh, have good food. The caterer that you already paid for, you've already spoken to them several times about what you desire. And so now it is their responsibility to make sure that everything turns out right. It looks good, tastes good, and you don't even have to stress about it on your wedding day if you have a good professional caterer. In fact, most of the wedding venues will have a list of professional caterers that they have worked with before. At first, when they gave me a list, I felt bound to choosing people that I don't really know too well, and I felt really restricted, and I was like, I'd rather go with a restaurant that I know or maybe a smaller business that I care about. But my place, our venue, they actually gave us a list of small local businesses that were really professional and the food was so good. I still hear about it, and that was last September, and right now it's March. So I keep hearing about the food. It turned out great. But if you're having a courthouse marriage, that doesn't mean that you can't have a reception. Yes, you can't have one in the courthouse. Wouldn't that be fun if we were able to? But you don't even have to have it on the same day. You can go with your friends and family to a restaurant. If you want your friends and family waiting outside the courthouse, that's also a nice photo op for them to be able to see your first kiss when you come outside the door. That would be gorgeous. Everyone's dressed up. You can go to a restaurant or you can go home. You can have a beautiful place set in your home or someone you care about home. We actually had gotten married on a Friday, but we had our reception on a Sunday in our brand new apartment. We had one of our church friends. She made all the pasta and salad, and someone else brought drinks and plates, and it was amazing, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. I definitely loved both options for the reception. Again, it's all about your attitude going into it. You can make it a grand time. So I would say the winner for this one is both. Yes, again. And last one, number 8, the dress. Like the main feature. We pay for our nails, we pay for our hair, our makeup, we spend hundreds of dollars on that. But what we also want is that gorgeous silhouette of us in our beautiful dress, whatever shape you want, whatever ball gown you want, or size, or mermaid, or strapless, curvy, vintage, whatever you want, you can have it. So let's talk about it. For a traditional wedding, a lot of people think about their ball gown or whatever long train that they want for their wedding. You can be a princess or you can be a royal queen, right? But I've noticed for courthouse marriages, there's been some kind of hesitation when it comes to how dressed up should you be going downtown, again, into a courthouse where people are filing to sue. In my opinion, it's your day. You want people to stop and look at you, right? So if they're gonna look at you regardless, make sure that you give them something to look at. If you're going downtown for your courthouse wedding, you can still be a queen. You can be a vintage queen, kind of like how I was. I wore a bunch of lace and long sleeve. You can be a boss queen in a suit. You can be a color queen or a flower queen or a sexy queen. Am I allowed to say sexy on my channel? Like, I'm not worried about YouTube coming for me. I'm worried about my granny Pat. You could be a sexy queen if you want to. Either way, for your traditional or courthouse wedding, you can wear whatever you want. And I just want to make sure that you have the confidence to do so. So the winner for traditional, nope. For the winner for this one is both. Okay, friends, I hope that helped you so much. I hope that helped clear your mind and give you some other options, some more confidence. I know that it can be scary going into the unknown. You're not sure which route to take. But honestly, I think that for celebrating your union, it's not so much of the route to the union that's important, but the union itself. Just remember and focus on what is important, and if that is what is guiding you, then you're going to make the right choice. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Love you so much. Bye.
Summer colognes got me free. Summer colognes got me falling to my knees. I don't need much, baby. I just